And welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm going to discuss my plans on the Great Loop again. Please comment if you've done the loop, or if you haven't, your thoughts, concerns, and what you think I might be missing. This is basically my thought process on it. We're going to go fairly quickly through it. I'm going to split this in two because I did one a little bit ago that had all my thoughts right now, and I was twice the time that YouTube wants to let me post. So here's my thoughts. The Great Loop, if you're not familiar with it, and I'll put links for the Great Loop and other things down below the video. America's Great Loop is an approximate 6,000 mile trip around the eastern United States. You've got, as you see here, generally down in this area, i.e. right here, what I'm talking about, is done wintertime. Spring is up through here, summer through the Great Lakes, and you're going down through here during the fall. It could be, a lot of people break it up. Some people do it in a year. Some people do the loop several times. The gold flag there, the pennant, I believe symbolizes you've done the loop at least once. All of this is through the Intercoastal Waterway, through the Chesapeake Bay, out and around, up the rivers, through the Great Lakes. Supposed to be some beautiful scenery going through this area here in Canada on the canals. One of the biggest concerns you'll have is a 19-foot, I believe 2-inch bridge clearance here. That's a fixed bridge. You have to clear that bridge or else you're going back out. And my thoughts are, on my budget, I have 40 to 60,000 that I have budgeted myself for the boat. My plans as it stands is at the end of fall harvest 2021 here in eastern Washington, which means by the end, somewhere in October, I'll be free and clear to start doing my trip. I am looking at boats in this general area that will give me time to do any refit on the boat I want. And if I got enough time, I'll go to the Bahamas before starting up in the spring. One of my other bucket list goals besides this is the ARC, the Atlantic Rally for Cruisers, which is basically sailboats across the Atlantic to Europe. They head over to Europe, going by memory, I want to say Mayish, but I'm not 100%. They return around November from the Canary Islands. The downfall to that is I am going to be semi-retired, and you put a lot of wear and tear on your boat doing the ARC. What I'm actually thinking about doing is to take some certification courses in Florida, possibly get part-time jobs shuttling boats during the hurricane season, pre and post-hurricane season, to supplement my income a little bit. But the boats I'm looking at right now, and please, sailboatlistings.com is where I'm pulling these boats up. And while I'm scanning through these, phone numbers will be shown. Please, please, please can't express that enough. Please check the listings. Don't go off the video and make phone calls on any numbers you find here, because the boat might not be listed anymore. It is the beginning of June right now. This boat could be easily off the market by the time you see this video. So please do your due diligence and check Sailboat Listings. Check your own things to see. You can use these videos that I'll be putting out for the type of boat you might be interested in, but check listings. Don't go off the numbers on my videos, please. This boat is a 40-foot Bayfield They list it as a staysail catch. I classify as a cutter rigged catch. I think it has to do with the staysail here, where it's exactly placed. It's a 2 stateroom boat. The draft is shy of 5 feet, and that's recommended on the Great Loop. They recommend not going in excess of much over 5 feet because of you're on a lot of riverways and things like that. And the shallower your draft, the less likely you're going to run aground somewhere because you didn't see that sandbar or something else is built up over time. The reason I'm looking at this, and one of the other sailboats I'm going to point out, is these are long keels or modified keel, or whichever way you want to word it, but it's protecting your prop and your rudder from any kind of debris that might be in the waterways. This boat, I want to say, has like 100-gallon capacity. I'm not 100%. Let's see if his listing says how much fuel he carries. No, but it's only got 1,400 hours on the motor. And I've noticed that these are in-mast furling on the main and the mizzen, which are nice for single or short-handed sailing. And the numbers through here, this would be a good blue water cruiser. The cost of re-rigging or doing the sails on this for doing Atlantic crossings to Europe and then back might price the crossing out of my capability using my own boat. That's why I'm looking at possibly trying to get a crew position during one of the arcs. Then I don't have all those expenses. My living expenses I'm not worried about. It's the extra expenses to fix up the boat after that trip. But as you see, like I said there, it's all of that. I've got a friend of mine that wants to go with his girlfriend, but he's not positive he's going to be able to now because of some business issues he's got going. He's not sure if he's going to have it all settled up in a year. This boat here, the Bhabha 30, is a beautiful boat if I go solo. It's one cabin. It's in the price range I'm talking about. It is a cutter rigged boat with the long keel. It's a small stateroom on it. Plenty of room for solo. And both of these boats, which is what I'm planning, is after that trip, if I keep doing boat shuttles between the Bahamas and out and the Caribbean and out during hurricane seasons to offset my savings for retirement, I'm planning on living on board whatever boat I get for the loop. This boat is also under a 5-foot draft. Along those lines, like I was saying, I'm not too concerned about the air draft because if I do the loop, you're in the intercoastal waterway. You've only got, realistically, the Chesapeake Bay, the Great Lakes, and the Gulf of Mexico to go under sail. So I would probably, wherever I bought the boat, before I start on my trip, demast it and motor the trip instead of dealing with demasting over in Chicago. One of the things I am looking at, though, is some of the prerequisites I have on my boat. I will have radar. I want AIS. I want radio capabilities. This has dinghy davits on it. I'm not sure if there's any solar on that one. This one has dinghy davits and a solar arch up there. So yeah, I could rig off of that to get my radar and things, but I also want lights and various other things on board the boat. But both of those are really nice. I've found several really nice boats I think would do the trip very reasonably. You've got all of this loop here, and I'm planning on spending extra time in certain areas. I'm very meager with my cash flow, so I don't do a lot of eating out. I'll go a little bit more into it with the power boats I'm going to be looking at and showing you here in a minute. But realistically, you have 6,000 miles. On a sailboat, you're looking at probably less than $7,000 in fuel by motoring the whole loop. And I realistically believe I'll be able to do this trip because I'll be eating on the boat majority of the time for less than $30,000. And I think that $30,000 is way above and beyond what I'm actually going to be doing. But that's just for food and entertainment along the loop, cost of living stuff, keeping my cell phone active, and all those other things. There are areas in the Cajun country I will be eating a lot. I'll eat out a little more often because I love Cajun food. I'll eat out several places for barbecue in the Carolinas and around Memphis and stuff because they have some good barbecue. And some other areas, you know, when I get to certain places, I will be doing the local dish just to do more experience. I've traveled all over the U.S. when I drove semi-trucks, but I would like to do a little more sightseeing, walk. I'm not going to be doing a lot of cabbing. I'll be riding my bicycles around to do sightseeing and things like that. I'll do some paid attractions, but most of it I'll be doing by, that are free and open to the public. And I'll probably end up doing the loop several times, but that's my thoughts right now. I need to keep this under 15 minutes, and we're a little over 12 minutes right now. So that's what I was looking at. It's the Tsing Bhabha 30 for completely solo. And this one, if my buddy and his girlfriend are able to go on the trip also, this would be really nice. And this one would be really nice to go through the Caribbean and Bahamas solo even. It's a lot of room. Very comfortable boat. Please leave a comments, like. I do watch the comments section to see if there's anything left so I can answer. Those are a couple of sailboats I'm looking at, and there's a whole lot of them on this style. These are a couple of ones I've looked at recently. I've also gone through and had been looking at the Irwins, the Morgantown Islands, the Tartan Talk. I like the Tartan Talks. The problem is there's so few of them made. There's not a whole lot of them still out there. Very few for sale. I want to say there's only 30 made in their production run. I like the Whitbees, but there are some manufacturing issues I'm not particularly fond of. And I want my boat, if I do it, this one could do the arc. I don't know if I'd want to do the arc with a Bhabha 30. That's a little too short of the waterline length. No, I'd want something closer to 40 feet, if not a little bit over. Thank you. Have a good evening.